Jin, wait, we could get caught.
I don't care anymore, I just want you.
What do you think will happen when they find out you have been doing with your stepbrother?
Hey guys, welcome back to Moonlit Stories, where moonlight meets myth. You know, we always bring you juicy and amazing tales straight from the heart. Now grab a glass of wine, sit back, and let's give you some juicy gist. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, and join the circle. Because here at Moonlit Stories, every story begins with you. Tomi checked her phone again and sighed. Kola had said, "Babe, don't be late. I booked a spot for us." She had rushed from work, changed her top in a small restroom, and come straight to meet him at the bar in Seoul. When she finally saw him, he was already at a table, leaning back like he had no problem in this world. "Kola," she called, walking up to him. He stood and gave her a quick hug. "My baby girl. You made it. You said it was urgent," Tomi said, dropping her bag on the chair. "You even sounded angry on the phone. What happened?" Kola smiled too wide. "Nothing serious. I just missed you. Sit down first. You look tired." Tomi sat. She studied his face. His eyes looked a bit restless. He kept tapping his fingers on the table. "Are you sure you're okay?" she asked. "You're acting somehow." Kola clicked his tongue. "Ah, Tomi. Can't I take my woman out again? Relax. Let me order something. You need to cool down." He signaled the waiter. "2 cocktails," he said. Then he turned back to her. "You trust me, ABI?" Tomi laughed. "Why are you asking me that kind question?" "Because you always think too much," Kola said, reaching across to squeeze her hand. "I know things have been hard since you came to Seoul. Let me spoil you small tonight." She softened a little. This was the Kola she knew. The one who made jokes in Yoruba and said she was his future madam. Maybe she was overthinking. The drinks came. A tall glass was set in front of her, one in front of him. "Cheers," he said, raising his own. Tomi raised hers and took a sip. It was sweet with a sharp taste under it. "How is it?" he asked, watching her closely. "It's fine," she said. She took another sip, bigger this time. "So what did you want to talk about?" "You know I don't like night waka on weekdays." Kola looked away for a second, then forced a smile. "We'll talk. Just drink first. You're too stiff. Loosen up." Minutes passed. Tomi began to feel something strange. Her head felt heavy, like someone had placed a stone inside it. Her tongue felt a little thick. She blinked. "Kola, this drink is strong, oh." He leaned forward. "You're just not used to it. You'll be fine." Her vision blurred for a moment, then cleared again. She pressed her fingers to her temple. "No, I'm serious," she said slowly. "My body is somehow. I feel dizzy." "Tomi, relax," he said, voice low. She tried to stand and almost lost her balance. Kola grabbed her arm. "Please," she whispered. "Let's go. Take me home." "I can't stay. Something is wrong." Kola held her, but his grip was too tight. "You can't go home yet." Her heart started to beat fast. "Kola, what's going on? Did you put something in my drink?" He looked away, jaw tight. "I didn't have a choice." "What are you saying?" Her words came out slow, like they were moving through water. "You're scaring me." Kola stood, pulling her up with him. "Get up. You'll be fine. There's one room at the back. You need to rest small." She tried to pull her hand back. "No. Take me home." He bent close to her ear. "Tomi, I owe someone money. Big money. If I don't fix it tonight, I'm finished. You have to help me." "I've been helping you since," she said weakly. "I gave you my savings. What else do you want? This one is different." His voice shook for a second, then hardened. "You will just stay in the room with him. Only for a night. After that, I'm free." "We are free." Tomi froze. "With who?" Kola didn't answer. He dragged her gently but firmly toward the back. "Kola, no," she whispered, fear rising in her chest. "Don't do this. Please. I'm your girlfriend." He didn't look at her. "Just walk, Tomi." Her feet felt like they did not belong to her. The hallway seemed to stretch. Her hand slipped from her bag. She watched it drop, but she couldn't bend to pick it. At the end of the passage, Kola stopped in front of a door. He knocked twice, then turned to her with tired eyes. "Remember," he said softly, "you're helping me." The door handle turned from inside. The door opened. A tall Korean man with skin-cut hair stood there, tattoos running along his neck and arms. His eyes were cold, but his smile was wide and fake. "Kong SSI," Kola said quickly, forcing a grin. "I brought her." Behind Kong, another Korean man, slimmer, with a sharp face, leaned on the wall watching. That was Jay. Kang's gaze moved straight to Tomi. She was half leaning on Cola, eyes heavy, legs weak. This one? Kang asked in slow English. She's the payment? Cola swallowed. Yes. She's clean. My girlfriend. She won't give you trouble. Tomi tried to raise her head. Cola, who is this? I said take me home. Kang laughed. The sound was loud and rough. Ah, she can still talk. Good. He stepped closer and grabbed her chin, turning her face left and right like he was checking a product. She looks fresh, he said to Jay. You did well, African boy. Cola flinched at the way he said it, but kept quiet. Tomi tried to push Kang's hand away. Leave me. Don't touch me. Her hand felt weak, but her eyes were sharp with fear. Cola, she whispered. What are you doing? Who is this man? Kang released her chin and faced Cola fully. The debt is 100,000. Tonight, I take her. We forget the rest for now. Cola licked his lips. So we're good? For now, Jay answered with a small smile. If she runs or fights too much, we will look for you again. Tomi grabbed Cola's shirt with all the strength she had left. Cola, please, she begged. Don't leave me here. I helped you with money. I trusted you. I'm begging you. Take me away. Cola could not look into her eyes. Tomi, I don't have a choice. These people will kill me. So it's better they destroy me? Her voice broke. I'm your girlfriend. You'll be fine, he muttered. Just do what they say. She stared at him like he was a stranger. Cola, if you walk away now, I will never forgive you. Never. His jaw tightened. For 1 second, guilt showed on his face. Then he pulled her hands off his shirt and pushed her toward Kang. I'm sorry, he said, eyes on the floor. I need to live. Kang laughed again and caught Tomi by the arm. His grip was strong and rough. Good boy, Kang said to Cola. You can go. Don't come back unless you have cash. Cola turned and walked away without looking back. That was the moment something snapped inside Tomi. She twisted in Kang's grip and sank her teeth into his hand hard. Aish! Kang shouted, jerking back. You crazy girl. She tried to run, but her legs failed her. She hit the wall and slid down, breathing fast. Jay moved quickly and grabbed her by the hair, pulling her up. Stand. Don't make it worse. Tomi slapped at his hand, tears in her eyes. Let me go. Somebody help me. Please. Kang shook his bitten hand and then smiled slowly, anger in his eyes. I like fighters, he said. But you will learn. He stepped in close, wrapped his hand around her arm again, and dragged her away from the door. Relax, Kang said in a low voice. Just relax and obey. If you do, tonight will be easy. If you don't, he left the threat hanging. Tomi's voice cracked. Please, I don't want this. I beg you. I'll pay. I'll work. Just don't. Enough, Jay snapped. You talk too much. At the far end of the room, a calm Korean man sat at a small table, a drink in front of him. He had been watching everything quietly. His eyes were on Tomi now, on her shaking hands, on the way she kept looking at the door like she still hoped Cola would come back. Jin-woo said nothing yet. He just studied the scene, his face unreadable, as Kang dragged Tomi toward the inner room. Kang was already pulling Tomi toward the inner room when a calm voice cut through the noise. Stop. Everyone turned. Jin-woo stood up from the table. He adjusted his jacket slowly, like he had all the time in the world. Kang frowned. What is it, Jin-woo-sasai? You came here to drink, not to preach. Jay still had his hand on Tomi's arm. She looked between them, confused, eyes glassy but still alert. Jin-woo's eyes rested on her for a brief second, then went back to Kang. I want her, Jin-woo said. His tone was flat. Let her go. Kang stared at him, then burst out laughing. You, he said. Rich boy wants the girl now? You think this is one of your father's hotels? Some of the men around snickered. Jin-woo didn't react. How much is his debt? Kang's smile faded a little. Why? You planning to pay? Jay scoffed. Don't joke. This is business. Jin-woo slipped a slim wallet from his pocket and placed it on the table. I don't joke, he said. How much? Kang folded his arms. 100,000. Tomi's head snapped toward Kang. What? She whispered. Because of that you want to. Jay shook her arm. Shut up. Jin-woo opened the wallet, counted with quick, clean moves, then pulled out a thick bundle. This is 50, he said. Cash. Now. Kang raised a brow. Half only. Jin-woo's gaze stayed steady. And another 50 tomorrow morning. Clean transfer. Your usual account. Kang hesitated. The cash on the table was real. Thick notes stacked neat. Some of his men eyed it with interest. Hyung, Jay muttered in Korean. It's good money. We can use it. Kong clicked his tongue. I can also use her, he said. Debt is high. Risk is high. Jin-woo stepped closer. You know my father, he said quietly. You know the Jin name. If I say I will pay, I will pay. If you touch a girl I just claimed, we will have a different kind of problem. Kang's jaw tightened at the word claimed. So you think you can buy anything because you're the Jin heir, huh, rich boy? Jin-woo didn't answer. Instead, he took another bundle from an inner pocket and dropped it on top of the first one. 70, he said. Now, 30 tomorrow. Take it, or keep chasing a useless gambler who sold his own girlfriend. Silence followed that sentence. Even Tomi froze. Kong looked from the money to Tomi, then back to Jin-woo. Bring the boy again, Kong said slowly, and I will take his legs next time. You know that, right? Jin-woo's face did not move. I don't care about him. I care about my word. I'm taking her. The greed in Kang's eyes finally won. He snatched the cash, thumbed through it quickly, then shoved it into Jay's hands. Fine, Kong spat. Take her. But don't forget, this is my house. One day, rich boy, you'll bleed here too. He jerked his chin at Jay. Jay released Tommy's arm with a little push. Tomi almost fell, but Jin-woo stepped in and caught her before she hit the floor. Stand properly, he said under his breath. Don't look weak. Her fingers clung to his sleeve. Why are you helping me? She whispered. I don't even know you. He didn't answer her. Instead, he raised his voice so everyone could hear. She's mine, Jin-woo said clearly. From the moment she walked in, she was my girl. Remember that. The room shifted. A few men laughed, some looked away, but no one moved to stop him. Kong smirked. Enjoy her then. Make sure she's worth it. Jin-woo leaned down, close enough for only Tomi to hear. Listen, he said softly. I'm not going to touch you. I just need them to think I will. Walk with me. Don't argue. Tomi swallowed hard. Her head still spun, but his grip was steady. He wrapped an arm around her waist, more for support than show, and led her toward the hallway. Behind them, Kang's voice rang out one last time. Rich boy, he called. If you don't pay the rest tomorrow, I'll come and collect your girl myself. Jin-woo didn't look back. She won't be here, he said simply, and kept walking with Tomi pressed to his side. Jin-woo held Tomi steady as they moved down the hallway. Her legs felt weak, but his arm around her waist kept her from falling. Where are we going? She whispered. Room, he said shortly. Kong is not stupid. He will check. Her heart jumped. I don't want. I know, he cut in. Just walk. He pushed open a door with his shoulder and led her inside. He closed it and locked it at once. Tomi pulled away from his hold and backed up, breathing hard. If you touch me, she said, voice shaking, I will fight you. I don't care who you are. Jin-woo looked at her properly for the first time. Her makeup was a bit smudged, eyes red, lips trembling. I told you, he said quietly. I'm not here to use you. Then why bring me to a room? She asked. Why not just take me out? Because Kong thinks like a dog, Jin-woo replied. If I pay for you and walk out holding your hand, he will send someone to drag you back. He needs to believe you're already busy. Tomi swallowed. I don't understand. Jin-woo stepped closer, but stopped at a safe distance. You're drugged, he said. He knows it. If he doesn't hear anything from this room, he will think I'm soft. He will come back. If he comes back, he will try again with you. And maybe next time, I'm not here. She hugged her arms around herself. Shame crawled under her skin. So what do you want me to do? She asked. He looked at the door, then at her. We need to act, he said. Make noise. Talk like we're doing something. Tomi stared at him in disbelief. You want me to pretend I'm sleeping with you? Pretend, he said. Only that. I won't touch you. I give you my word. She hesitated. His face was calm, eyes steady. No hunger, no excitement. Just control. Outside, she heard faint footsteps. Her chest tightened. What if he comes to check? She asked. Then I will shout at him to get lost, Jin-woo said. But he will listen first. So we start now. He moved to the bed and sat down, then lay back, still in his clothes. Stay near the wall, he told her. You don't have to come close. Just make it sound real. Her hands shook. I can't do this. He turned his head toward her. Tomi, do you want to go back to Kong? The answer was no. It was written all over her body. She took a slow breath. What should I say? He raised his voice suddenly. Yeah, come here, he said in Korean, loud enough for anyone outside. Stop running. Tommy jumped at the tone, then understood. He lowered his voice again. Now you answer. Complain. Shout my name. Anything. Just don't be quiet. Her cheeks burned. This was worse than crying. This felt like she was tearing her own pride. But she remembered Kang's hand on her arm. Remembered Cola pushing her away like trash. She forced herself to speak. Let me rest small, she said loudly, making her voice rough. You're not tired? Jin-woo slapped his palm lightly on the mattress to make a dull sound. Who told you to talk? He shouted, still acting. Come here. He gave her a tiny nod. She understood and added a small cry on top of the sound, like she was reacting. Outside, Kong slowed his steps. He tilted his head, listening. Jay smirked. Looks like rich boy knows how to enjoy, he said. Kong grunted. At least he didn't waste my time. Inside, Jin-woo kept up the act. He made a few more loud movements on the mattress, feet on the floor, hand hitting the frame. Tomi gave short, broken sounds that felt like knives in her throat. Every fake sound felt real in her mind. It felt like she was throwing dirt on herself. After a while, the footsteps faded. Voices moved away. Jin-woo waited a few more seconds, then went silent. He sat up slowly. You can stop now, he said quietly. Tomi slid down the wall until she was sitting on the floor. She covered her face with both hands. Tears slipped out before she could stop them. He stood, walked toward the door, and listened. No one was there. We're done here, he said. When you can stand, we leave. Kong won't come back. She looked up at him, eyes wet. Why? She asked. Why did you do all this for me? Jin-woo's expression stayed flat. I don't like men who sell women, he said simply. You're safe for tonight. After we step out of this place, you're on your own. He unlocked the door, then turned back one last time. Clean your face, he added. Walk out like nothing happened. Don't let them see you cry. Tomi wiped her cheeks with shaking fingers and pushed herself up. Tonight, her body was untouched. But in her mind, shame was already planted deep. Tomi took one more deep breath and followed Jin-woo out of the room. Her legs still shook, but she tried to walk the way he said, head up, shoulders straight. Her heart was loud in her ears. Every step felt like people were staring, even when nobody was looking. Kong was no longer in sight. Some of his men sat around, talking and laughing. Nobody paid attention to her. That somehow made it worse. At the door, Jin-woo stopped. He glanced back at her face, checked her eyes, then opened the door and stepped out first. Come, he said quietly. She walked out after him. The air in the main bar hit her with almost normal life. Music, low talk, clinking glasses. For a moment, she felt like screaming. Can't you people see what almost happened to me? But she swallowed it. They walked together toward the exit, Jin-woo a little in front, his hands in his pockets like it was just another boring night. When they reached the door, Tomi stopped. Wait, she said. He turned halfway, looking at her with that same calm face. She stared at him. I don't even know what to say. You don't have to say anything, he replied. Just go home. No, she said, voice tight. I need to say it. Thank you. The word tasted strange. It felt too small for what he had done and too big for what she had just acted out. I know you didn't have to help me, she went on. You paid money for a girl you don't know. You stood up to that man. You covered for me. So thank you. Her eyes dropped to the floor. But I hate that I had to pretend. I hate that they think you used me. I hate that I opened my mouth to make those sounds. I feel. She couldn't finish. Jin-woo watched her for a moment. You're alive, he said. That is what matters. Shame can heal. Death cannot. Tomi let out a bitter little laugh. That's easy for you to say, rich boy. He raised a brow. Rich boy, what else should I call you? She asked. You know everything about me now. You know my boyfriend sold me like goat. You know I was drugged. You know I begged. But I don't even know your name. He hesitated, as if wondering if she really needed to know. Then he sighed. I'm Jin-woo, he said. That's all. Jin-woo, she repeated slowly. Is that why Kong respected you like that? Because of your name? His jaw moved just a little. My name opens some doors, he said. And closes some. She looked up at him. Then why tell me to forget tonight? Because nothing good will come from holding it, Jin-woo said. Forget this place. Forget Kong. Forget me. That's easy for you to say, she snapped, eyes flashing. You'll go home, bathe, sleep. Tomorrow, it's just another story for you. But for me, it's inside my head now. Jin-woo's face stayed unreadable, but his eyes softened for a second. Listen, he said, voice lower. You cannot change tonight. but you can change what comes next. He took a step closer, not touching her. Stay away from Kola, he said firmly. If he calls, don't answer. If he cries, don't listen. If you see him on the road, cross. A man who sells you once will sell you again. Tomi bit her lip. You think I don't know? I feel stupid. I gave him my savings. I defended him to my friends. I thought he loved me. Love doesn't drag you to Kong, Jin-woo said. Men like Kola and Kong, they only know how to use. You're not that desperate. She looked at him with tired eyes. You don't even know me. You cried for him, Jin-woo said quietly. That tells me enough. For a moment, they just stood there. Two strangers tied together by one dirty night. Finally, Jin-woo stepped back and pushed the door open wider. Go, he said. Before Kong changes his mind. Find a taxi. Go straight home. Don't stop anywhere. Drink water. Sleep. Tomi nodded slowly. Jin-woo, she said, testing his name again. I won't forget tonight. Even if you say I should. But I won't disturb you. You've done more than enough. He gave a small shrug, as if he didn't care. Do what you want, he replied. Just remember the warning. She walked out first this time. The moment the door closed behind her, her chest tightened. She hugged herself and moved fast, almost running away from the building, from the music, from the memory. She felt dirty and used, even though nobody had touched her body. Behind the door, Jin-woo stood still for a moment. He told himself it was over. Debt paid. Girl gone. Not his business again. But when he finally turned and walked back inside, he still saw her face in his mind. Those scared, stubborn eyes. And he knew this night would not leave him as easily as he claimed. The next morning, Jin-woo stood in front of the mirror, buttoning his shirt. He did not sleep well. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Tomi's face. The way she looked at him at the door. The way she walked out, hugging herself like she was trying to hold her pieces together. He shook his head as if he could push the memory away. Forget this night, he had told her. His own mind refused to obey. A knock came on his door. Young master, one of the staff called. Your father is waiting. The guests are almost here. I'm coming, Jin-woo said. He joined Mr. Jin in the small waiting room beside the hall. Mr. Jin smiled when he saw him. You look good, son. Jin-woo gave a stiff nod. You too. Mr. Jin adjusted his tie. Today is important for me. I'm happy you decided to attend. I didn't have a choice, Jin-woo said quietly. His father sighed. Beezy is a good woman. You'll see. Jin-woo kept his face blank. He had heard the story. Nigerian woman, moved to Seoul, divorced from a useless husband, met Mr. Jin through business contacts. He didn't trust it. To him, it sounded like a neat plan to marry into money. She loves me, Mr. Jin added. Not just the Jin name. If you say so, Jin-woo replied. An assistant came in. Sir, the guests are seated. We can begin when Madame Beezy arrives. Where is she? Mr. Jin asked, checking his watch. She said she would come early with her daughter. Maybe they are fixing something, the assistant said. Hair, dress. Jin-woo made a small sound. Of course. Late already. Don't start, his father warned. Her daughter just came from another side of Seoul. She's shy. It's a big day for them, too. Her daughter, Jin-woo repeated. The same one moving into our house? Yes, Mr. Jin said. She's around your age. You'll look out for her. I didn't sign up to be babysitter, Jin-woo muttered. Mr. Jin gave him a sharp look. You will respect them. Beezy has suffered. She raised that girl almost alone. We are not better than them. Money doesn't make us gods. Before Jin-woo could answer, someone called from the door. Sir, Madame Beezy just arrived. Mr. Jin's face lit up. Finally, they moved toward the hall entrance. The simple ceremony was set to start as soon as the bride came in. From the doorway, Jin-woo saw her first, a Nigerian woman with kind eyes and a bright smile, Aunt Beezy. She held a small bouquet in one hand and her bag in the other, speaking quickly to one of the staff, apologizing for being late. I'm so sorry, she said, her accent warm. My daughter was nervous. I couldn't leave her behind. Mr. Jin walked forward and took her hand. You're here now, he said softly. That's what matters. She smiled up at him. Thank you, Jun-ho. Jin-woo watched, his mouth a thin line. Acting is easy, he thought. Smiling is easy when you see money. Aunt Beezy finally turned to him. Jin-woo, she said gently. Good afternoon. You look very handsome. He bowed slightly formal. Congratulations. That's all, Mr. Jin asked. Jin-woo forced himself to add. Welcome to the family, Aunt Beezy. Her eyes shone a little. Thank you, my son. Where is the girl that is stressing me? She turned her head. Tomi, come now. Don't be shy. The name hit Jin-woo like a slap. Tomi. He frowned, thinking it must be another person. There were many Nigerians in Seoul. Many girls named Tomi. A young woman stepped from behind one of the pillars, moving slowly toward them. Her hair was simple. Her dress was clean and neat. Her eyes were lowered, fingers holding her clutch tight. Tomi, greet your new family, Aunt Beezy said, proud. This is your stepfather and your stepbrother, Jin-woo. The girl lifted her head. Their eyes met. Jin-woo's breath stopped. It was her. The same face from last night. The same eyes that had pleaded in that dirty hallway. The girl who had walked out of Kang's bar feeling broken. Tomi froze too. The hall, the guests, the soft murmur around them. All of it faded in her mind. All she saw was Jin-woo, standing beside Mr. Jin, in a neat suit, looking nothing like the random rich boy from the bar. You, she whispered before she could stop herself. Jin-woo's fingers curled slowly at his side. His father's voice broke in, cheerful, not understanding the silent shock between them. Jin-woo, Mr. Jin said, smiling wide, meet Tomi. Your new stepsister. For a few seconds, nobody spoke. Tomi stared at Jin-woo. Jin-woo stared back. The whole night from the bar rushed through both their minds at the same time. Mr. Jin, not noticing, laughed softly. You two are shocked, ABI? Don't worry. You will get used to each other. Aunt Beezy nudged her daughter. Tomi, greet your brother now. Tomi swallowed. Her throat felt dry. Good afternoon, she said, forcing her voice to stay steady. I'm Tomi. Jin-woo's face became a clean mask. Nice to meet you, he replied, as if he had never seen her before in his life. I'm Jin-woo. Their eyes held for one more second. Tomi understood the silent message in his look. Don't say anything. Mr. Jin clapped his hands once. Good. After the ceremony, we will all sit and talk. For now, let's go in. They moved into the hall. Guests smiled, turned, whispered, watched the bride. Tomi walked beside her mother, but she could feel Jin-woo somewhere behind her, like a shadow. The ceremony itself passed in a blur. Vows were said. Rings exchanged. Pictures taken. People clapped and shouted blessings in different accents. Tomi smiled when she was supposed to smile. Sat when she was supposed to sit. Inside, she was shaking. What kind of life is this? She thought. Of all people in Seoul, my new stepbrother has to be the man who saw me at my worst? After a while, Mr. Jin and Aunt Beezy were pulled away by guests for congratulations and pictures. Tomi quietly slipped out toward the side corridor to breathe. She barely reached the quiet corner when a hand caught her wrist and pulled her aside. It was Jin-woo. He pushed open a small service door and guided her into an empty room, closing the door behind them. What are you doing? Tomi snapped, pulling her hand away. You scared me. Jin-woo stared at her, his calm expression gone. What showed now was anger. You, he said slowly, are very good at acting. Tomi frowned. What? First, you act like a helpless victim in front of Kong, he went on. Now you act like shy new daughter of a poor woman who just wants a new family. Her eyes widened. What are you talking about? You knew exactly who I was last night, Jin-woo said. You knew my name. You knew my face. Now suddenly, you appear here as my father's new stepdaughter? Do you think I'm stupid? Tomi stared at him like he was mad. Are you okay at all? Don't play innocent, he snapped. You and your mother planned this. Use tears to get my attention in that bar. Use the sold girlfriend story to make me feel sorry. Then show up here to marry into money. Perfect plan. Tomi's chest burned. You think I planned being drugged? You think I planned almost being given to that man? You got what you wanted, he said coldly. I paid. I brought you out. Now here you are, walking in as the new princess of the Jin house. Tomi let out a weak laugh, more pain than humor. Wow, so this is how your brain works. He folded his arms. Tell me I'm wrong. You are very wrong, she said, her voice sharp now. I didn't even know your surname until today. He blinked. What? You said your name is Jin-woo, she continued. Just Jin-woo. You didn't say Jin-woo Jin. You didn't say heir of anything. I met one random Korean rich boy who helped me and told me to forget him. Next day, I woke up, tried to push last night out of my head, followed my mum to her wedding. And boom, there you are. That's my own side. He stared at her, trying to read her face. And my mum? Tomi added. She doesn't even know what happened to me last night. You think I will tell her that her ex-husband's mess almost finished me? You think she would still walk down the aisle if she knew? Jin-woo clenched his jaw. So you expect me to believe everything is just coincidence? I don't care what you believe, she said quietly. But don't you ever stand in front of me and say I used what happened last night to enter your family. I didn't even ask to be here. Silence settled between them. For the first time, doubt crept into Jin-woo's eyes. But his pride held him back. Fine, he said. Keep your story. Just remember this, I'm watching you. If you or your mother try anything, I will be the first to throw you out. Tommy's eyes glistened, but she refused to cry in front of him. Don't worry, she replied. I didn't beg to enter this house. And I won't beg to stay. She reached for the door handle. We may be sharing the same roof now, she added. But after last night, you are the last person I want to see. She walked out, leaving Jin-woo alone in the room, his anger mixing with something he didn't want to name. Jin-woo left the small room and returned to the hall with a straight face. From a distance, he watched Tomi sit beside Aunt Beezy, smiling politely at guests. She poured drinks, collected small gifts, laughed when people joked with her mother. Nobody would guess that the night before, she had been in a dark bar almost sold to a gang lord. His chest tightened with a strange feeling he refused to name. He pulled out his phone and sent a quick message. Come to the lounge. Now. A reply came almost at once. On my way, bro. Later that evening, Jin-woo sat in a private corner of a members-only lounge in Seoul. A glass sat in front of him, untouched. Peter, his American best friend, walked in with his usual easy grin. Yo, Gene, Peter said, dropping into the seat opposite him. You look like someone stole your car and your favorite shoes. Jin-woo didn't smile. My father got married today. Yeah, I saw the pictures, Peter said. New Nigerian stepmom, right? She's pretty. You should be happy for him. Happy? Jin-woo scoffed. She's a gold digger. Peter tilted his head. You sure? Your dad looks serious about her. They all look serious until money finishes, Jin-woo said. She came from nothing. Now she's living in Jean house. My house. Peter raised his hands. Relax, rich boy. You're still the heir. Nobody is taking that from you. Jin-woo leaned back. It's not just her. She brought a daughter too. Oh yeah, I heard, Peter said. New stepsis. That should be fun. Jin-woo's jaw tightened. Fun is not the word. Peter watched him closely now. What happened? Jin-woo hesitated, then told him the story in short lines. The bar. Cola. Kong. The fake night. The shock of seeing Tomi at the wedding. The talk in the side room. So your new stepsister, Peter said slowly, is the girl you rescued last night. Jin-woo nodded once. Peter let out a low whistle. Man, that's crazy. Like drama script. It's not funny, Jin-woo snapped. I didn't say it was, Peter replied. But think. Her mom marries your dad. She walks into the house. You think they don't know who you are? You're Jin-woo Jean. Every business person in Seoul knows that name. She said she didn't know, Jin-woo muttered. Do you believe her? Peter asked. Jin-woo remembered the way Tomi spoke. The anger in her eyes. The way she said she didn't want to be there. He pushed the thought away. No, he said. It's too convenient. She cries in front of me one night. Next day, she enters my family through my father. They're both after the money. Simple. Peter nodded slowly. So what do you plan to do? Sit and watch while they eat the Jean fortune. Jin-woo's eyes grew hard. No. I'll protect my family. Peter tapped the table. Then flipped the game. Use her the way she planned to use you. Jin-woo frowned. What do you mean? Peter leaned in, voice low. Seduce her, he said. You're not blind. She's pretty. She already has history with you. Get closer. Make her fall for you. Sleep with her. Jin-woo's face shut down. I don't. Wait, Peter cut in. After that, you twist the story. Tell your dad she came on to you first. Cry small. Say you tried to resist, but she kept chasing you. Jin-woo's jaw clenched. Peter went on. Your dad cares about reputation. He won't keep a woman in his house whose daughter is trying to sleep with his son. He'll throw them both out. Clean and easy. No need to fight in court. No need to shout. Jin-woo stared at his glass. The plan was ugly, but it made sense. It would protect the Jean name. It would make sure nobody laughed at his father later. You're quiet, Peter said. You know I'm right. After a few seconds, Jin-woo nodded once. It could work. Peter grinned. Of course. But I'm adding one more thing. What? Peter pointed at him. I bet you 100,000 that you'll fall in love with her before the end of this game. Jin-woo's head snapped up. Are you mad? I'm serious, Peter said, laughing. You think you can play with fire and not burn? She's already in your head. I can see it. It's irritation, Jin-woo replied. Not love. We'll see, Peter said. Deal. Jin-woo thought about Tomi's eyes in the bar. Her voice when she said, You are the last person I want to see. He pushed the memory down and held out his hand. Fine, he said. Deal. I'll never fall for a girl like her. Peter shook his hand, still smiling. We'll see, rich boy, he said. We'll see. 2 days after the wedding, the house was a little calmer. Aunt Beezy was in the living room with Mr. Jean, going through some documents the lawyer had brought. A few staff moved around, serving drinks and snacks. Tomi came down the stairs, holding a small notepad. She was helping her mum list what they needed for the new house arrangement. Her mind was still heavy, but she tried to act normal. The doorbell rang. One of the staff went to answer it. A loud, familiar voice entered before the body. Tomi, please, I beg you, come out. Tomi froze on the last step. Cola. He pushed past the staff and walked into the living room, eyes wild, clothes rough like he hadn't slept properly. Tomi, he called again, spotting her. Please, just hear me out. Mr. Jean stood, frowning. Who is this? Aunt Beezy's face changed. Cola? What are you doing here? He ignored them and went straight to Tomi. Tomi, baby, please, he said, dropping to his knees without shame. I know I messed up. I know I was wrong. But you have to forgive me. Tomi's hands started shaking, but she forced her voice to stay steady. Stand up, she said. Don't kneel for me. I will kneel, he said quickly. I will roll on the floor if you want. I was desperate that night. Kong was going to kill me. I didn't think straight. Please, just give me another chance. Mr. Jean looked from Tomi to Cola. What is he talking about? Aunt Beezy was already worried. Tomi, what is going on? What night? Tomi swallowed. Her chest felt tight. She glanced around. Jin-woo had just walked in from the side corridor. He stopped when he saw Cola, his eyes narrowing. Tomi took a breath. You want to talk? She said to Cola. Okay, let's talk. She stepped away from him and faced her mother and Mr. Jean. Mummy, she said quietly. The night before the wedding, Cola called me out to a bar. He bought me a drink. He put something inside. Gasps moved around the room. Aunt Beezy put a hand to her chest. He did what? Tomi's voice shook, but she kept going. I started feeling dizzy. I begged him to take me home. Instead, he took me to a back room. There, he handed me over to a Korean gang man called Kong. He sold me as payment for his gambling debt. Everyone went silent. Cola jumped up. Ah, Tomi. Don't say it like that. I was under pressure. You know Kong. You drugged my daughter and tried to give her to a gangster, Aunt Beezy shouted, her voice breaking. Are you not ashamed? Cola stretched his hands out. Mummy Beezy, please let me explain. I love Tomi. That is not love, Tomi cut in. That is wickedness. She turned to face him fully now, eyes wet but focused. You stood there and watched another man hold me like item, she said. You heard me beg. You heard me call your name. And you walked away. From today, we are finished. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't come near me again. Tomi, please, Cola said, voice cracking. You know how things are in Seoul for me. I was scared. I made a mistake. One mistake is forgetting my birthday, she said. This one is different. This one could have ended my life. We are done, Cola. I mean it. Mr. Jean spoke, angry now. Young man, leave my house at once before I call the police. The staff moved closer. Cola looked around and realized nobody would defend him here. He pointed at Tomi, face twisting. So this is it. You want to throw me away now that you're living with rich people? You think I don't have anything on you. Tomi folded her arms. There is nothing you can say to clean what you did. Cola let out a dry laugh. You sure? You remember that night with Kong? You want these your new family members to hear what you did with their precious Jin-woo inside that room. Tomi's heart dropped. Her eyes flicked just once toward Jin-woo. Cola caught it and smirked. Yes now, he said. You think I don't know? You think Kang's boys didn't talk? You think they didn't say rich boy took you inside, and noise started coming out? If I open my mouth and tell this man that his son and his new stepdaughter already. Cola. Tomi snapped, face burning. Shut up. He leaned closer, lowering his voice so only she could hear. Bring money, he whispered. I won't talk. 200,000. You're living with rich people now. It won't be hard. If you don't pay, I'll scatter everything. I'll tell them what you and Jin-woo did that night. Her fingers dug into her palm. "Get out," she said through her teeth. "Now." He stepped back, lifted his hands again dramatically for the room. "No problem," he said loudly. "I'm going. But think about what I said, Tomi." He pointed to his temple. "You know I'm not joking." He walked out. Tomi stood where she was, feeling all eyes on her. Shame rose in her throat like smoke. Without a word, she turned and went upstairs. From the corner, Jin-woo watched her go, Cola's threat echoing in his own mind. For 2 days after Cola's visit, the house felt tense. Tomi kept to her room as much as she could. She helped Aunt Beezy with small things, smiled at Mr. Jean, and avoided Jin-woo's eyes. Anytime she remembered Cola's whisper, 200,000 or I talk, her stomach turned. Jin-woo pretended not to care. But Cola's words stayed in his head too. "I'll tell them what you and Jin-woo did that night." Even though nothing happened, the lie could still stain his father and the Jean name. On the 3rd evening, Mr. Jean called everyone to the living room. "We will travel for our honeymoon," he said, holding Aunt Beezy's hand. 1 week. Maybe 10 days. Tommy's eyes widened. "So soon? You think your mother and I are small children?" Mr. Jean joked. "We need time together." Aunt Beezy smiled. "Tommy, you'll be fine. The staff are here. And your brother is here." Tommy's smile was tight. "Yes, Ma." Mr. Jean looked at Jin-woo. "I'm trusting you. Take care of the house. Take care of them." "We'll be fine," Jin-woo said. Later that night, after the driver took their luggage out and the car left, the house grew quiet. Only 2 names remained on the main family list inside the gate: Jin-woo and Tomi. In the dining room, Tomi checked the fridge and wrote a short list for the cook. Jin-woo walked in, loosened his tie, and sat at the head of the table like it was a throne. "Make sure my coffee is ready by 7, he said without looking at her. "I don't like waiting." She turned slowly. "Please, who are you talking to?" "You," he said. "You're at home, doing nothing. You can at least manage small things." "I'm not your house girl," Tomi replied. "You have staff. Ask them. They report to me," he said. "You live here for free. Show small gratitude." Something in her snapped. "I didn't beg to come here," she shot back. "Your father married my mother. I did not apply for this job of rich boy's stepsister. And for the last time, I am not a gold digger. If I wanted your money, I would not be fighting you every day." He raised a brow, amused. "You're shouting a lot for someone who wants peace." "I want peace," she said. "But you keep acting like king of Seoul." He smirked. "I am, in a way." She rolled her eyes and turned back to the fridge. The cook came in, looking confused. "Ma, should I?" "Make his coffee for 7, Tomi said shortly. "If he complains, tell him to drink water." The cook hid a smile and nodded. Over the next few days, they bumped into each other often. In the morning, Jin-woo came down and found Tomi at the table with a notebook, whispering Korean words to herself. He passed behind her and glanced down. "You're still mixing particles," he said. "It's here, not. Unless you're talking to a friend." She blinked. "You can see from one look?" "You're writing it wrong," he replied. "Don't embarrass my house teacher tomorrow." He corrected the line with a pen and walked away before she could say thank you. Another day, she saw him in the kitchen late at night, opening and closing cabinets. "You don't sleep?" she asked. He shrugged. "I don't like quiet." She poured him a glass of milk and pushed it toward him without meeting his eyes. "It helps me," she said. "You can try it or leave it." He picked it up. "You think I'm 5? Your problem," she answered, walking out. Later, she passed by the music room and heard piano keys. She stopped for a second. His playing was calm, almost gentle. She didn't enter. In small ways, they started to notice each other. The way she always cut her food in small pieces before eating. The way he always kept his left wrist bare, like he refused to wear a watch there. They still argued. Over the TV channel. Over where to keep shoes. Over noise. Sometimes, under the anger, something else hid. A kind of sharp awareness. But neither of them was ready to name it. By the end of the week, Tomi knew one thing clearly. Living in a rich house did not mean she had money. Her mom was still settling into the new marriage. Tomi didn't want to start asking Mr. Jean for cash every time she needed something. Her own small savings were almost finished, thanks to Cola. Then her old car finally gave up. It stopped in the middle of a quiet street in Seoul and refused to start again. Tomi tried the key 3 times, then rested her head on the steering wheel. "Perfect," she muttered. "Just perfect." She had to pay for towing. The mechanic called her later with the bill. The amount made her chest tight. Uni, if you don't fix it now, the engine will spoil more, he said. Give me some days, she replied. I'll find a way. That night, she video called her American friend Laura, who had been in Seoul longer. You look stressed, Laura said, chewing gum. What's going on? My car died, Tomi said. And my account too. Can't your new stepdad help? Laura asked. I don't want to start begging in that house, Tomi replied. His son already looks at me like I'm counting their money. I don't want to prove him right. Laura sucked her teeth. So you need cash fast. Yes. Laura leaned closer to the camera. Okay, don't shout. Just listen. I've been doing a side job at a club. Showgirl work. It pays well. You just dance on stage in nice clothes. No touching. No funny business if you don't want. Tomi frowned. Showgirl? It's not what you're thinking, Laura said. It's not dirty if you set your boundaries. You're beautiful, Tomi. You'll get tips. Just try it for some weeks, fix your car, clear your head. Tomi hesitated. What kind of club? A decent one, Laura said. Not like that place with Kong. I would never carry you there. This one has rules, good security. I'll be with you. I won't let anyone stress you. Tomi looked down. I don't want to feel cheap again. Laura's voice softened. You're not cheap. You're working. You're using your body to dance, not to sleep with anybody. Big difference. Come tomorrow night. If you don't like it, you stop. After thinking for a long time, Tomi agreed. The next evening, she wore a simple but eye-catching outfit from Laura's wardrobe. The manager took one look at her and nodded. She'll do well, he said. She has presence. Tomi stepped on stage with her heart pounding. The lights, the music, the eyes, it scared her at first. But Laura winked from the side, and Tomi focused on the steps. After a while, she forgot herself and just moved. At the end of the night, when she saw the cash in her hand, her eyes widened. This is one night, she asked. Welcome to Seoul Hustle, Laura grinned. A few days later, on a different night, Peter convinced Jin-woo to come out. You've been too serious lately, Peter said, dragging him along. Your dad is away, and you're acting like an old man. Let's go have fun. I'm not in the mood, Jin-woo replied. You'll be in the mood when you see the stage, Peter said with a laugh. The girls here are fine. They entered the club and took a table near the front. Drinks arrived. The music changed. Watch this, Peter said, tapping Jin-woo's arm. New girl tonight, I heard. Very pretty. Jin-woo barely looked up, until the new dancer stepped into the light. Tomi. His grip tightened around his glass. She wore a short, fitted outfit, hair styled neatly, makeup simple but sharp. She held her head high as she moved, but he could see the tightness in her jaw. Peter whistled. Wow. Your club life is improving, my friend. This one is fire. Jin-woo's face went cold. He stood up without a word. Hey, where are you going? Peter asked, confused. Jin-woo walked straight to the side of the stage and signaled one of the floor staff. He said something quickly in Korean and moved toward the back. When Tomi turned during her dance, a hand suddenly grabbed her wrist and pulled her off stage. She almost stumbled. What? She looked up and saw him. Jin-woo, she breathed. He dragged her into a side hallway, away from the crowd. Are you crazy? He hissed. What are you doing here? She yanked her hand back. I'm working. Working, he repeated. You call this working? Dancing in front of drunk men for money. Yes, she said, lifting her chin. At least it's honest. I'm not stealing from anybody. His eyes burned. You're living in my father's house, eating his food, and at night you're here shaking your body for strangers. Do you know what that looks like? Don't talk to me like that, she snapped. You're not my owner. You are carrying the Jin name now, he said through his teeth. Our name. And you want to drag it on stage like costume. Tomi's hands balled into fists. I'm not doing this because of your family, she said. I'm doing it because I need to stand on my own. My car is bad. I need money. I'd rather dance than sit and beg your rich father. He stepped closer, anger and something else in his eyes. You are shaming us, Jin-woo said. You are shaming me. For a moment, Tomi forgot where they were. You're shaming me, Jin-woo said. She laughed, short and bitter. You of all people want to talk about shame. A staff member rushed up. Excuse me, you can't drag dancers like that. Jin-woo flashed a card. The man's eyes widened. He bowed and backed away at once. Tomi stared. You see? Money again. Flash one card and everybody bends. I'm taking you home, Jin-woo said. I'm not going anywhere with you, she replied. Then I'll talk to the manager, he said. Right now. I'll shut this place down if I have to. Her stomach dropped. Laura. The other girls. The small money they were making. Fine, Tomi hissed. I'll go. But don't think you own my life. He led her out through a side door. The drive home was silent. Tomi stared out the window, arms folded. Jin-woo's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. When they entered the house, she turned on him at once. Who do you think you are? She demanded. You just walk into my job and drag me off stage like I'm a child. That is not a job, he shot back. That is selling your body slowly. I was not touching anyone, she said. I was dancing. Full clothes. Lights. Music. Nobody forced me. That's how it starts, Jin-woo replied. Today, only dance. Tomorrow, private room. Next tomorrow, something worse. I've seen it. You've seen it because you sit in those clubs, watching girls like me while you drink with your rich friends, she snapped. But the girl is always the dirty one, right? Not the men paying. He clenched his jaw. You don't know anything about my life. I know enough, she said. You have money. I don't. You were born with your name. I'm still fighting to breathe in this city. So don't stand there and judge me for trying to earn my own money. He stepped closer. You live in a house most people only see in magazines. You eat food you don't pay for. You use water and light for free. Then you run out at night to dance in a club and throw the Jean name around without care. That is not fighting to breathe. That is greed. Her eyes flashed. Greed? Coming from you. She grabbed his shirt in anger to shake him. Listen to yourself, she said. You think because your father married my mother, you can control every move I make. You think I want your stupid money. As she pulled his shirt, something snapped. A soft metallic sound hit the air. They both froze. She looked down and saw it, his necklace chain broken, hanging half on his collar, half falling. A small pendant dropped to the floor. Time slowed. Jin-woo stared at the pendant on the tiles. His face changed. All the color in his expression drained. Tomi, he said, voice low. What did you just do? I didn't mean. She bent to pick it up. Don't touch it, he shouted. She flinched. He knelt quickly, scooped the pendant up like it was glass, and held it in his palm. His hands shook. His breathing turned rough. I didn't know, Tomi said softly. I just grabbed your shirt. I didn't see the chain. Of course you didn't see it, he snapped. You don't see anything beyond yourself. That's not fair, she whispered. He looked up at her, eyes shining with a kind of rage she hadn't seen before. This necklace, he said slowly, is the last thing my mother gave me before she died. It is the only thing I have left from her. And you broke it like it's nothing. Her chest tightened. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I'll pay a jeweler. Just stay away from me, Jin-woo cut in. From my things. From my life. Stay in your lane in this house. We may share a roof, but you and I? We are not the same. He stood up and walked off, fist closed around the pendant. Tomi stood alone in the living room, guilt burning in her throat. She wanted to cry, but no tears came yet. A while later, as she sat at the dining table staring at the broken chain she had quietly picked from the floor, someone walked in. It was Peter. He had come to drop off some files for Jin-woo and had seen him earlier face dark, holding the pendant. Peter saw the chain in Tomi's hand and sighed. So you're the one, he said. Tomi looked up. The one what? The one who broke that necklace, Peter said. You know what that thing means to him? She shook her head. Peter pulled out a chair and sat. His mom died 3 years ago, he said. Car crash. Before she left that day, she gave him that necklace. Said, wear this and remember me. She never came back. He never takes it off. Not even when he's sleeping. Tomi stared at the chain in her palm, her own anger cooling into something heavy and sad. I didn't know, she whispered. Peter shrugged. Now you do. He stood up again. For someone who claims she doesn't want to hurt this family, he added gently, you just stabbed his biggest wound. When he left, Tomi sat there long after, the broken chain cutting her fingers, and for the first time, she felt sorry for Jin-woo in a way that had nothing to do with his money. That night, the house was quiet. Tomi lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling. The broken chain lay on her bedside table. Peter's words replayed in her head. Last thing his mother gave him. He never takes it off. She turned on her side and closed her eyes, but sleep refused to come. Somewhere down the hallway, a sound broke the silence. At first, she thought it was the TV. Then she heard it again. A choked sound. A rough voice. No, don't go. Mom. Tomi sat up. It was coming from Jin-woo's room. For a moment, she hesitated. After everything that happened, maybe she should mind her business. But the sound came again, more desperate this time, like someone drowning. She got up and walked down the hall. His door was slightly open. She pushed it gently and stepped inside. Jin-woo was on the bed, turning from side to side. His face was twisted, sweat on his forehead. His hand clenched the bedsheet like he was holding on to something that was slipping away. "Mom, don't leave, don't get in the car." His voice broke. Tommy's chest squeezed. She moved closer. "Jin-woo," she said softly. He didn't wake. His breathing was rough. His legs jerked like he was trying to run. "Please don't die." It hurt to watch. Without thinking too much, Tommy sat on the edge of the bed and touched his shoulder. "Jin-woo," she said again, firmer this time. "Wake up. It's a dream." He flinched. She shook him gently. "Hey, Jin-woo. It's Tommy. Wake up." His eyes snapped open. For a second, he looked lost, like he didn't know where he was. Then he saw her. "Tommy," he croaked. "You were having a nightmare," she said quietly. "You were calling your mum." He swallowed hard and tried to sit up. His hand reached for his neck out of habit, then stopped when he remembered the missing necklace. He looked away, jaw tight. "I'm fine," he muttered. "You can go." "You're not fine," she replied. "You were shaking." He rubbed his face with both hands. His shoulders trembled. "I told her not to drive that night," he said, voice low. "There was a storm coming. I said I'd send a driver." She laughed and said I worry too much. That was the last time I saw her. Tommy stayed quiet. "Every time I sleep too deep, I see the car," he whispered. "I hear the phone call. I hear my father's voice. I wake up feeling like I killed her." "You didn't," Tommy said. "You tried to protect her. It's not your fault." He let out a shaky breath. Without planning it, she reached and took his hand. "Breathe," she said. 1, 2, 3. Just breathe. You're not in that night. You're here." He stared at their joined hands for a second. Then slowly he leaned a little toward her. His forehead rested against her shoulder. His hand tightened around hers, just for a moment. Tommy's heart beat fast, but she didn't move. "It's okay," she murmured. "You can cry small. Nobody is here to judge you." His chest rose and fell. One tear slipped out and landed on her arm. After a short while, his breathing calmed. Suddenly, he seemed to realize what he was doing. He pulled back fast, wiping his face. "Go," he said, voice rough. "I'm fine." She looked at him. "You don't have to pretend with me." "I'm not pretending," he lied. "Just go, Tommy." She studied him for a moment, then stood. "Okay," she said softly. "Good night, Jin-woo." She left the room, closing the door gently behind her. The next day, while he was out for a meeting, Tommy took the broken necklace to a small repair shop she found online. The ajushi there fixed the chain and polished the pendant as best as he could for a low price. When she came back home, she held the necklace in her palm for a long time. Then she went to Jin-woo's room and knocked. "Come in," he said. She stepped inside. He was at his desk, going through some documents. He looked up, wary. "What do you want?" he asked. She walked closer and held out her hand. "I fixed it," she said. The light caught the small pendant. The chain was whole again. Jin-woo froze. "I know it's not perfect," she added quickly. "But the clasp works. The ajushi said it should hold. I'm sorry I broke it. I was angry and careless. I shouldn't have grabbed you like that." He stared at the necklace for a long moment, then reached out slowly and took it. "Thank you," he said, voice low. She smiled a little. "Maybe we can start over, small. No shouting. No assuming the worst." He looked at her, his expression softer than before. "Start over," he repeated. "As what?" "As two people stuck in the same house," she said. "Trying not to kill each other." One corner of his mouth lifted. "I can try," he said. "A little." "That's enough for now," she replied. She turned to leave. As she reached the door, he called out, "Tommy." She looked back. "About last night," he said. "Thank you." She nodded once. For the first time, the space between them did not feel like war. It felt like a thin bridge, shaky but real. 2 days passed after the night of the nightmare. Things in the house felt different. Still sharp sometimes, but not as harsh. Jin-woo no longer snapped at Tommy over small things. Tommy no longer threw side comments every time he entered a room. They were not friends, but the open war had cooled. One afternoon, as Tommy was tying her hair in the hallway mirror, Jin-woo came up behind her. "Are you busy later?" he asked. She turned a little. "Why?" He cleared his throat. "We should clear the air." Talk properly. Outside the house. She raised a brow. Is this an interview? It's just one outing, he said. No shouting. No drama. I'll drive. She studied his face. He actually looked serious, not arrogant. Okay, she said at last. But if you start your rich boy attitude, I'm going back home. He snorted. Just get ready by 6. That evening, they left the house quietly. No staff. No drivers. Just his car and the two of them. Where are we going? Tomi asked as he drove. You'll see, he said. After some turns through the city, he parked inside an underground lot and led her up a back stairway. They came out on a private rooftop space attached to one of his family's buildings. It wasn't fancy like a full event place. Just a clean open space with a simple bench, low wall, and soft lights. Tomi looked around. Where is this? One of our buildings, he said. I come here when I don't want anybody to disturb me. You come here alone? She asked. Yes. And you brought me? Yes, he repeated. Don't make it a big deal. She smiled a little. Too late. They sat on the bench, a small gap between them. For a while, neither spoke. You wanted to clear the air, Tomi said. Start. He exhaled. Fine. He looked straight ahead. I misjudged you. She blinked. That's new. I thought you and your mother came for money, he said. I thought you used what happened at the bar to pull me in, and then used my father to enter this house. And now, she asked quietly. Now, he rubbed the back of his neck. I've seen the way you protect your mother. The way you refuse to ask my father for anything. The way you work instead of begging. You could easily sit down and enjoy, but you don't. She looked down at her hands. My father was the beggar, she said. Not with clothes or food. With gambling. He turned to her, listening. He used to disappear for days, she continued. Any small money my mum had, he would collect it for business. When we moved to Seoul, we thought it would change him. It made him worse. New places to bet. New people to owe. Her voice tightened. When things got bad, he started lying about her. Telling people we were greedy, that we used men for money. He wanted to spoil her name so no good man would take her. He wanted her to come back and pay his debts. Jin-woo's brows drew together. That's wicked. Tomi gave a small laugh. So when you called me a gold digger, you were just saying his lines again. You don't know how much that one pains me. Silence sat between them for a moment. I'm sorry, he said simply. I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have believed the worst from the start. She looked at him. So what do you believe now? He hesitated, then met her eyes. I believe you're stubborn, he said. Too proud. You talk too much when you're angry. She frowned. Is that a compliment? But, he added, you're also honest. You fight for people you love. You don't give up easily. And you're hard to ignore. Her heart skipped. Hard to ignore, she repeated. He looked away. Don't make me say it twice. She swallowed. What about you? She asked. I know you as rich, rude, and damaged by one broken necklace. What else should I know? He let out a short breath. I grew up with everything and nothing, he said. Money, yes. Houses, yes. But my parents were always busy. I ate dinner alone many nights. I learned early that people like my name more than my heart. He glanced at her. Then my mother died. It felt like somebody switched off all the noise and left me with silence I didn't ask for. So I fill it with work. With clubs. With stupid bets. It's easier than feeling. Tommy's chest softened. You're not as strong as you act, she said. Don't say that outside this roof, he replied. They both smiled a little. The air between them shifted. The anger that used to sit there stepped aside for something else, gentler, but scarier. Tomi, he said quietly, do you feel anything for me? She could have lied. She almost did. Instead, she held his gaze. Yes, she said. I tried to hate you. I still want to slap you sometimes. But I feel something. I don't know what to call it yet. His eyes searched her face. I feel it too. Her breath hitched. Slowly, as if giving her time to run, he leaned closer. If you don't want this, he murmured, say it now. She didn't move away. He closed the small distance and pressed his lips to hers. The kiss was not wild. It was slow, careful, like both of them were scared it would break. When they finally pulled back, Tommy's heart was racing. We can't let the others know, she said. Our parents, the staff, they'll think it's wrong. I know, he replied. For now, it stays here. Between us. Secret, she asked. Secret, he agreed. They sat side by side, shoulders touching now, both knowing that one kiss had changed more than they were ready to admit. After that night on the rooftop, something changed for Jin-woo and Tomi. They still moved around the house like normal step-siblings, but small things gave them away, to themselves at least. A glance that lasted too long. A smile shared in the corridor. A hand that brushed by mistake and didn't pull back at once. They kept their secret like they agreed. But secrets are never fully safe. One evening, Jin-woo met Peter at another club. Not the one where Tomi danced, a different place they used often. Peter raised his glass. "You look lighter these days," he said. "So, how's life with the new stepsister?" Jin-woo sipped his drink, trying not to show anything. "It's fine." Peter grinned. "Fine. That's all. For someone playing such a dangerous game, you're surprisingly calm." "Lower your voice," Jin-woo warned. Peter laughed. "Relax. Nobody here cares. Besides, I was the one that gave you the plan." At a nearby table, a Korean girl with sharp eyes and bright lipstick watched them. Zora. She had seen Jin-woo in clubs before. She liked the way he walked, the way people respected him without him saying much. She had tried to catch his attention many times, with her dancing, her outfits, her empty smiles, but he never looked twice. Tonight, she noticed something different. His face was softer, almost happy. Because of who? She thought. Because of that Nigerian girl I saw him dragging out of the club that day? Her chest burned. She leaned a little closer, pretending to focus on her phone, but her ears followed Peter's words. "Don't pretend, bro," Peter said. "You remember? I told you, seduce your stepsis, make her fall for you, sleep with her, then throw her and her mum out. Clean sweep." Zora's eyes widened. "Stepsister? Tomi." She held her breath. Jin-woo's jaw was tight. "I'm not proud of that plan. But it was smart," Peter said. "At the start, at least. And I told you I'd bet 100K that you'd fall in love instead. Look at you now. You've already lost." Jin-woo glared at him. "I didn't say that." "You didn't have to," Peter replied, smirking. "You talk about her without calling her name. You canceled that other girl's number. You even fought with me for teasing. I know you." Zora's nails dug into her palm. "He's in love with her? With that girl?" She waited until Jin-woo went to take a call. Then she stood up slowly and slid into the seat beside Peter with a sweet smile. "Appa," she said, touching his arm lightly. "Long time." Peter blinked. "Zora? Hey, didn't see you there." "I saw you," she said. "You and Jin-woo SSI, always together." She laughed softly. "You were talking so serious." I couldn't help hearing small. "Something about stepsister and 100K? Peter stiffened. "You were listening?" "Only tiny bit," she said, widening her eyes in fake innocence. "You know me. I'm just curious. Did Jin-woo really bet 100K on a girl?" "Wah, that's so romantic and crazy at the same time." Peter relaxed a little and rolled his eyes. "It's nothing. Just guy talk." "Tell me," she pressed gently. "You know I won't tell anyone. My lips are sealed." She traced an invisible line over her mouth. Peter was half drunk and enjoyed attention. He shrugged. "Fine," he said. "But don't go around spreading it. Jin-woo will kill me." "I swear," Zora said quickly. Peter leaned closer. His dad married this Nigerian woman. She brought a daughter, Tomi. New stepsister. He thought they were gold diggers, so I gave him a plan. Seduce her, sleep with her, then make it look like she went after him. His dad would kick both mother and daughter out to protect the family name. Zora's heart beat faster. "So he used her?" she asked. "At first, that was the idea," Peter said. "But then he started catching real feelings. I bet him 100K that he'd fall in love. Guess who's winning?" He laughed. Zora smiled, but it did not reach her eyes. "So he likes her now?" she asked softly. Peter shrugged. "He'll never admit it out loud. But I know. He's gone." Jin-woo started walking back toward them, phone still in hand. Peter stood. "Anyway, forget I said anything. It's between us, okay?" "Of course," Zora said sweetly. "Between us." They left her table. Zora sat still, thoughts racing. So Tomi came from nowhere, entered the Jin house, stole Jin-woo's attention, and his heart. Meanwhile, she, Zora, had been around, trying to catch his eye for months. Her jaw tightened. "No," she muttered under her breath. "I won't let her take him. If Jin-woo's father found out that his son and his new stepdaughter were involved, it could destroy everything for Tomi and her mother." A slow smile spread over Zora's face. "I don't even have to lie too much," she thought. "I just have to push the old story in the right direction." She pulled out her phone and opened her gallery, scrolling through old photos of herself in different outfits. "Fake evidence," she whispered. Fake stories. Real heartbreak. In her mind, a plan started to form. She would dress like Tomi. She would get close to Jin-woo when he was drunk. She would take pictures that looked real enough to break trust. She would twist Peter's story and use his own words as a knife. Jin-woo, she said softly to herself, you'll see. You were supposed to belong to me. And if I can't have you happy, I'll make sure nobody else does. A few days after the rooftop kiss, Tomi felt almost light. She went to language class, helped Aunt Beezy with calls, teased the cook, argued less with Jin-woo. When their eyes met in the hallway, there was a quiet smile only they understood. In her mind, she kept hearing his words. I feel it too. One afternoon, she stopped by a small cafe near her class. Laura had canceled last minute, so Tomi ordered a drink and sat alone, scrolling her phone. Excuse me, a voice said. Tomi looked up. A Korean girl with bright lipstick and sharp eyes stood there, holding a tray. I know you, the girl said. You're Tomi, right? From the club that night. And from the Jean house. Tomi blinked. Sorry, do I know you? I'm Zora, the girl said, smiling. I dance at the club sometimes. I've seen you with Laura. And I've seen you with Jin-woo. Hearing his name made Tomi sit up straighter. Okay, and? Zora glanced around. Can I sit? It's important. Tomi hesitated, then nodded. Zora sat opposite her, eyes full of fake concern. I don't want you to misunderstand, Zora began. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to warn you. Girl to girl. Tomi frowned. Warn me about what? About Jin-woo, Zora said softly. And the bet. The word hit Tomi like cold water. What bet? Zora folded her hands. I was at the lounge some nights ago. I was sitting close when your dear Jin-woo and his friend Peter were talking. Peter was bragging. She paused for effect. He talked about a plan. Jin-woo's plan. For you. Tomi's fingers tightened around her cup. What plan? Zora's eyes grew serious. From the start, he thought you and your mom were using his father. He thought you wanted their money. So his friend suggested a way to push you out. Seduce you, sleep with you, then twist the story and say you chased him. Tomi felt her heart drop. That way, Zora continued, his father would kick you and your mom out to protect the Jean family name. Clean, no noise. That was the plan. Tomi stared at her. You're lying. I wish I was, Zora said. Peter even joked about it. He said, I told you, seduce your stepsis so your dad kicks them out. I heard it with my own ears. Tomi's throat went dry. And the bet? Zora smiled sadly. Peter bet Jin-woo 100,000 that he would fall in love with you while playing that game. Like you're some kind of challenge. Some toy. He said he's already winning the bet. Tomi's mind flashed through everything. The early insults. The coldness. The sudden softness. The rooftop confession. The kiss. Her stomach clenched. So, Zora finished. Before you give your heart fully, just know how the story started. Why are you telling me this? Tomi whispered. Zora shrugged. Because you seem like a nice girl. And I've seen too many girls broken by rich boys' games. I thought you should know before it's too late. She stood up. Be careful, Tomi, she said gently. Sometimes the person holding you is the same one holding the knife. She walked away. Tomi sat there, shaking. Seduce her. Sleep with her. Blame her. Bet on her. She felt stupid. Cheap. Used. By the time she returned to the Jean house, anger had risen over the pain like fire. She found Jin-woo in the sitting room, going through some files. We need to talk, she said. He looked up and saw her face. His eyes narrowed. What happened? Did you plan to use me? She asked, voice tight. From the beginning? He frowned. What are you talking about? Don't lie, she snapped. Zora told me everything. Peter's plan. Seduce me. Sleep with me. Then tell your father I jumped on you so he can throw my mom and me out. And the 100,000 bet that you would fall in love. Her voice shook. Was it true? His face went still. Answer me, Jin-woo. He closed his eyes briefly, then opened them. Yes, he said quietly. At the beginning, it was true. The words felt like a slap. I was angry, he went on. I thought you and your mother came for our money. Peter pushed me. I agreed to the plan. But before anything happened, I changed. You changed me. Tomi laughed, bitter and wet. So all that softness, all that I misjudged you, all that rooftop talk, they came after you finished drawing battle plan on my head? I didn't touch you because of a bet, he said, rising. That night on the roof, I meant every word. I care about you, Tomi. It's real now. Real now, she repeated. But fake in the beginning. A game. A strategy. A way to throw us out. Tommy, don't call my name, she said, eyes shining with tears. You made me feel safe. You told me to trust you. Meanwhile, you and your friend were using my life to play. She stepped back. From today, she whispered, don't talk to me unless it's about the house. Whatever this thing was between us, it ends here. Before he could move, she turned and walked away, leaving him standing alone, the weight of his own choices finally landing fully on his chest. For days after the truth about the bet, Tomi avoided Jin-woo like he carried fire. She left early, came back late, stayed in her room. When they met by accident in the hallway, she walked past him like he was furniture. Jin-woo tried twice to stop her. Tommy, please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain, she said. You already did. He stopped talking after that, but the distance cut through him. One night, after another failed attempt to sleep, he let Peter drag him out. You look like a ghost, Peter said. Come and drink small. Clear your head. I'm not in the mood, Jin-woo replied. You were not in the mood last time, Peter said. Still, you came back alive. They went to a lounge. Jin-woo drank more than usual. At some point, his head grew heavy. His memory blurred. He remembered sitting alone in a private booth. He remembered pushing Peter away, saying he wanted space. He remembered his phone buzz. Then nothing clear. Just flashes. A voice. Laughter. Perfume. The next morning, his head pounded. He woke up on a couch in the lounge's VIP room, still fully dressed. Jacket open, shirt rumpled. A staff member knocked and told him Peter had already left and paid. Jin-woo dragged himself home, showered, and tried not to think too much. He didn't know that night was already a weapon in someone else's hand. Later that same day, Tomi was in her room, folding clothes. Her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. You should see this. Know the kind of man you're crying for. There were several photos attached. She clicked the first one. Her heart stopped. Jin-woo. On a bed. Shirt halfway open. Eyes closed like he was sleeping or drunk. Beside him, under the same cover, was Zora. Her hair loose, lips close to his neck. In one shot, she was kissing his cheek. In another, she held his hand on her waist. It looked like they were naked under the sheets, though she had arranged the fabric carefully. Tommy's vision blurred. Her thumb shook as she swiped through the photos. Every angle looked worse. Every picture screamed one thing. They slept together. A message followed. He used you and went back to women like me. Rich boys don't change. Wake up. Tomi dropped the phone on the bed and pressed both hands to her mouth. So this is it, she thought. First the bet. Now this. Anger rose, mixing with deep pain. She grabbed her phone and went straight to Jin-woo's room. He opened the door, surprised. Tomi. She held up the screen. Is this you? She asked, voice flat. He frowned and took the phone. His eyes widened at the photos. Where did you get this? He asked. Is it you? She repeated. Yes, it's me, he said slowly. But it's not what it looks like. I don't remember. You don't remember? She cut in, laughing without joy. Of course. You men never remember when it's time to take responsibility. Tomi, listen, he said. I went out with Peter. I drank too much. I woke up alone. I didn't touch Zora. I swear. She pointed at the pictures. So she climbed into your bed alone? She kissed your face and held your hand alone? You didn't push her away? I wasn't awake, he said. She must have staged it. She's trying to. She already told me your plan, Tomi snapped. She told me about the bet. I didn't want to believe her fully. Somewhere in my stupid heart, I still thought, maybe Jin-woo has changed. Maybe his feelings are real now. They are real, he said quickly. Tomi, I love. Don't say it, she cut in, voice breaking. Don't you dare use that word with me. He reached for her arm. Please, give me a chance to prove. She stepped back like his touch burned. I was ready to fight for you, she whispered. Against what people would say about step-siblings. Against my own fear. I was ready. But you were playing with me from the start. And even after I found out, while I was still crying over that bet, you were in bed with Zora. It's not like that, he insisted. I didn't mean for any of this. That's the problem, she said. You never mean it, but people still bleed. She took her phone from his hand. We are done, Tomi said quietly. Not small break. Not let's think. We are finished. From today, you're just my mother's husband's son. Nothing more. He felt the words like a blow. Tomi, I never want to see you again, she added. If we cross paths in this house, pretend you don't know me. If you ever told yourself I mattered, delete it from your mind. Because I've deleted you from mine. She turned and walked away before he could see the tears finally spill. The door closed. Jin-woo stood there, heart pounding, the fake images burning in his mind. Slowly, anger replaced shock. Zora, he muttered. You did this. He pulled out his phone and called Peter. Go to the lounge, he said when Peter answered. I need every camera, every record from that night. Someone touched me while I was drunk. Someone is lying. I'm going to find out who, and I'm not letting this slide. Tomi tried to keep her life moving. She avoided Jin-woo, blocked Zora's number, and threw herself into work with Laura. If she stayed busy, she didn't have to think too much. One evening, Laura met her outside her language school. I'll drive today, Laura said. Club manager wants to change some schedules. We'll go together. Okay, Tomi agreed. I don't feel like taking bus anyway. They walked toward the small street where Laura had parked. Tomi was about to open the passenger door when a van rolled up and stopped beside them. Two men jumped out. Before Tomi could react, someone grabbed her from behind and covered her mouth with a rag. Her bag fell to the ground. Tom! Laura started, but one of the men pushed her aside. She hit the pavement, pain shooting through her arm. The rag smelled strange. Tomi struggled, but the world tilted. The last thing she saw was a familiar face in the open van door. Cola. When she woke, her hands were tied. She was on a chair in a wide room, ankles tied to the legs. Cola stood a few steps away, pacing. His eyes looked tired and scared. You again, Tomi said weakly. Of course. He stopped pacing. I'm sorry, Tomi. I didn't want to do this. You said that last time, she replied. Right before you sold me. A door opened. Kong walked in, tattoos showing under his shirt, hair still cut low. Jay followed behind him. Kong smiled when he saw her. My favorite runaway. Tommy's shoulders stiffened. You see how life works, Kong said to Cola. The girl you sold last time is now the rich family's princess. If we play this right, your debt will not only clear, we might even gain extra. I brought her like you said, Cola muttered. Just don't kill me. We'll see, Kong said lightly. Tomi glared at Cola. You are finished, she said. If I leave here alive, I will make sure you never rest. Cola looked away. Kong tapped Jay's arm. Call her rich boyfriend, he said. The Jean boy. Tell him if he wants his precious stepsister, he should come himself. Back on the street, Laura forced herself up, ignoring the pain in her elbow. She picked up Tommy's bag and searched it with shaking hands until she found her phone. There was only one name in her mind. Jin-woo. She hesitated for half a second, then called. He answered on the third ring. What is it? Jin-woo, it's Laura, she said, breathing hard. Tommy's been taken. 2 men. A van. I saw Cola. They grabbed her in front of me. I think it's connected to that Kong man. I don't know where yet. As if on cue, his phone beeped with another call. A different number. Hold on, he told Laura. He switched lines. Who is this? Your fan, Kang's voice drawled. Remember me? The man you insulted with money. Jin-woo's body went cold. Kong. We have your girl here, Kong said. The Nigerian one you like to rescue. If you want to see her alive, bring yourself and your car to my place. No police. No tricks. If you touch her, Jin-woo started. Relax, Kong cut in. You like games, rich boy. Tonight we play. The call ended. Jin-woo switched back. Laura, go home and lock your door. I know where they are. I'll handle it. Please save her, Laura said. Even if she hates you now. He didn't answer that part. He just grabbed his keys and left the house without telling anyone. Kang's place was the same general area as before. A back compound, some men at the gate. Jin-woo drove in, face hard, one hand on the wheel, the other on something hidden under his jacket. As he stepped out, Kong appeared, clapping slowly. You came alone, Kong said. Good. Very brave. Where is she? Jin-woo asked. Jay dragged Tomi out from a side door, her hands still tied, mouth uncovered now. She had a small bruise on her cheek, but was standing. When she saw Jin-woo, her eyes widened. Why are you here? She demanded. I didn't call you. I did, Kong said. Your hero always appears when it's time. Jin-woo's gaze stayed on Tomi. Are you okay? She forced her chin up. I don't need you. He ignored that and pulled a gun from under his jacket, pointing it at Kong. Let her go, he said. Right now. Some of Kang's men reached for their own weapons, but Kong lifted a hand. Easy, Kong said. No need to spoil the fun. You want to leave with her so badly? Fine. But I don't like losing without a game. Jin-woo didn't lower the gun. I'm not playing with you. Oh, but you will, Kong replied, eyes bright. You embarrassed me last time. You walked into my place and took my payment like a boss. Tonight, you win her with more style. He pointed toward a cleared area of the compound where 2 cars were parked facing each other, some distance apart. We race, Kong said. Full speed, straight line. You in one car, me in the other. Game of chicken. First person to swerve, brake, or turn loses. Tommy's heart slammed against her ribs. No, she said. Jin-woo, don't listen to him. Kong smirked. If you win, you take the girl and you both walk out. Debt cleared. No more hunting. If you lose, he shrugged. I keep her. Maybe sell her. Maybe keep her. Maybe send her back in pieces. Depends on my mood. He stepped closer to Jin-woo. Or you can shoot me now, Kong added softly. In front of all my men. Then they shoot you. She cries. Everyone dies. Boring ending. Jin-woo's hand tightened on the gun. Tomi shook her head. Don't do it. Kong spread his arms. So, rich boy, do you have courage, or are you only brave when you're holding cash? Jin-woo lowered the gun slowly. I'll race, he said. Tomi closed her eyes for a second. Good, Kong smiled. Let's see how much the Heir values this girl's life, and his own. The 2 cars faced each other like enemies waiting for a signal. Kong slid into his driver's seat, grinning. Try not to cry, rich boy. Jin-woo got into the other car. His hands rested on the wheel for a moment. He looked once toward Tomi. She was standing between Jay and another man, wrists still tied, eyes wide. Don't do this, she shouted. Jin-woo, please. He met her eyes. For a second, all the anger, the fake photos, the bet, everything else fell away. If I don't, he said quietly, they keep you. Kang's voice came through from the other car. On my count. 3, 2, 1. Engines roared. They both stepped on the accelerator. The cars shot forward. Tommy's breath caught. The men around her shouted, betting on who would swerve. Dust rose behind the tires as the distance closed. Kang's grin faded little by little as Jin-woo's car refused to slow. He'll turn, Jay muttered. He's not crazy. But Jin-woo didn't flinch. His eyes stayed locked on the line in front of him. Knuckles white, jaw set, he pressed his foot harder. Meters disappeared. Kang's smile turned to shock. He's not braking, one of his men shouted. At the last second, instinct screamed louder than pride. Kong jerked the wheel and swerved. His car spun, hit a side barrier and slammed hard. Metal crumpled. His head snapped forward against the seat. Jin-woo's car skidded but stayed mostly straight, tires screaming before he finally managed to brake. The car jolted to a stop several meters past the impact line. Silence hit for half a heartbeat. He won, Tomi whispered, hardly believing it. Then chaos. Kang's door burst open. He stumbled out, one hand on his shoulder, rage burning through the pain. Bring him, he roared. Before Jin-woo could unbuckle fully, 2 of Kang's men yanked his door open and dragged him out. He fought, but there were too many. Kong limped toward him, eyes wild. You made me lose, he spat. In my own game. You said if I won we walk, Jin-woo said, breath rough. Let her go. I changed my mind, Kong replied. His fist crashed into Jin-woo's face. Tomi screamed. Stop. Please stop. They kept hitting him, stomach, ribs, back. He dropped to his knees. One of them kicked him down. He still tried to push up. Leave him. Tomi cried, struggling against Jay's grip. I'll stay. Just stop hitting him. Cola stood near the wall, shaking, watching everything with empty eyes. Far away, sirens began to rise. Outside the compound, Laura sat in a taxi with her phone in her hand, talking fast to the police. Here, she said. This is the place. They took my friend here before. Please hurry. Peter, who had called from his own car after tracking Jin-woo's last location, joined her at the gate, arguing with the guards until the police cars arrived. Inside, Kong lifted a metal rod, ready to bring it down. Let that be the last one, he muttered. Before he could swing, a loud voice cut through the air. Police! Drop your weapons. Everyone turned. Officers poured into the compound, guns drawn. On the ground, one shouted. Hands where we can see them. Some of Kang's men tried to run. They were quickly pinned down. Kong cursed and dropped the rod. Jay raised his hands slowly. Cola froze, caught between loyalty and fear, then lifted his hands too. Tomi rushed to Jin-woo's side. He lay on the ground, face swollen, breathing shallow. His eyes were half open, unfocused. Jin-woo, she whispered, dropping to her knees. Hey, look at me. Open your eyes. He blinked slowly, trying to focus on her. You're safe, he murmured. Good. Don't talk, she said, tears finally spilling. Just breathe. Help is here. Paramedics pushed in and carefully moved him onto a stretcher, fitting an oxygen mask over his face. Are you family? One of them asked. Yes, Tomi said at once, gripping the side of the stretcher. I'm family. They let her ride with them. At the hospital, everything blurred, forms, bright lights, staff rushing. Tomi sat in a hard chair outside the treatment room, hands shaking. If I hadn't gone out, if I hadn't answered Cola that first time, if I hadn't believed Zora's photos and pushed him away. Guilt pressed on her chest. After what felt like hours, a doctor finally stepped out. He has multiple bruises and some broken ribs, the doctor said. No internal bleeding we can see right now. He's stable, but he needs rest and monitoring. Can I see him? Tomi asked. For a short time. She went in quietly. Jin-woo lay on the bed, hooked up to monitors. His face was marked, lip cut, bandage on his forehead. Tomi moved to his side and hesitated, then took his hand gently. This is my fault, she whispered. You came for me even after everything I said. Even after I told you I never wanted to see you again. His fingers twitched weakly around hers, as if answering. Tommy's tears dropped onto his hand. I don't know what is true anymore, she said. But I know this, you almost died because of me. And I can't pretend I don't care. She leaned forward and rested her forehead beside their joined hands, crying quietly as Jin-woo lay unconscious, having given up his body to prove what his words hadn't been allowed to say. When Jin-woo woke up properly, Tomi was there. She was sitting in the chair by his bed, head bent over their joined hands. Her eyes were swollen, but she still looked stubborn. You're still here, he said, voice rough. She looked up fast. Of course I'm here. You scared me. He gave a weak smile. You always say you never want to see me again. Yet somehow, you're always beside me when I open my eyes. She sniffed. Don't talk too much. You're still hurt. Tomi, he said quietly, I'm sorry. Again. For the bet. For not telling you. For giving people like Zora and Cola space to touch your life. She looked at him, pain still in her eyes. I saw those pictures, Jin-woo. You and Zora in bed. How do I erase that? I didn't touch her, he said. I swear. She used my weakness. I was drunk. She staged everything. And I'm going to prove it. How? Tomi asked. He squeezed her hand gently. Trust me one last time. 2 days later, Peter walked into the hospital room with a strange smile. I did my part, he said. The show is ready. Tomi frowned. What show? A truth show, Peter answered. With our star guest Zora. He explained quickly. He had gone to see Zora at the lounge, pretending to be angry with Jin-woo. I told her you and Jin-woo broke up, Peter said. I acted like I was on her side. I said I wanted to help her get him fully. Zora had relaxed, proud of herself. Peter had placed his phone on the table, camera facing up, recording. On the screen now, Zora's face filled the frame, lips curled in a satisfied smile. The room was full. Mr. Jeans stood at the end of the bed. Aunt Beezy sat beside Tomi. Laura and Peter were near the wall. Jin-woo lay back against the pillow, watching. From the phone speaker, Zora's voice played. Of course I sent those photos, she said to Peter in the recording. Do you know how long I've wanted Jin-woo? That girl just walked into his house and stole him. I had to remind him who really fits his world. You really slept with him? Peter's voice asked in the video. Zora rolled her eyes. He was half dead from drink. I dressed like Tomi, same hair, similar top, and slipped into bed beside him. The idiot didn't even wake up. I took the pictures myself. In the hospital room, Tomi's hand flew to her mouth. On the screen, Zora continued. And Tomi believed it? She laughed. Good. She should feel how it hurts to lose. I just gave her a little push with the truth about your old plan and the bet. Men talk too much when they drink, Peter. Peter's recorded voice was low. So you lied to her. You twisted everything. I used what was there, Zora replied. The bet was real. The pictures look real. That's enough. As long as they stay apart, I win. The video ended. Silence filled the room. Aunt Beezy looked at Tomi. My daughter, she whispered. Are you okay? Tomi's eyes were wet, but clearer now. So it was all her, she said, voice shaking. She dressed like me. She sent the photos. Peter nodded. You can hate me for the original plan. I deserve that. But for this part, everything is her work. Jin-woo looked at Mr. Jean and Aunt Beezy. There's more, he said. Dad, Mum Beezy, I failed you too. When you first married, I was afraid. I thought they wanted our money. I agreed to a stupid plan with Peter. I never touched Tomi then. But in my heart, I was wrong. He drew a slow breath. Somewhere along the line, he continued, the plan died and the feeling stayed. I fought it. I tried to deny it. But it's still here. He turned his eyes to Tomi. I love you, he said simply. Not as a game. Not as a bet. As a man who has watched you fight, cry, protect your mother, and stand on your own feet. I love you, Tomi. I want you in my life, not as just my father's wife's daughter, but as my wife. Everyone went still. Mr. Jean cleared his throat. You know what people will say, he warned. Step-siblings gossip talk. We are not blood, Jin-woo replied. And we are not children. People will always talk. But I'm tired of living for strangers. He looked at Aunt Beezy. I know I don't deserve your trust. I hurt your daughter. But give me one more chance. I will spend the rest of my life protecting her instead. Aunt Beezy studied him for a long moment, then turned to Tomi. My dear, she said softly, after everything, what do you want? Tomi looked at Jin-woo, at the bruises not yet faded, at the eyes that had finally learned how to be honest. I'm still angry, she said. I'm still hurt. But when he was on that ground, bleeding, all I could think was, please don't die. I don't want to spend the rest of my life pretending I don't feel anything. She wiped her cheeks. I love him too, she admitted. Mr. Jean sighed, then gave a small smile. Then we will not stand in the way. He raised a finger at Jin-woo. But on one condition. You must never hurt her like this again. Not with lies. Not with games. You break that, you lose not just her, but me. Jin-woo bowed his head. Yes, Dad. I accept. He turned back to Tomi, heart pounding. Not the most romantic place, he said, glancing around the hospital room. But it's where I almost lost you and myself. So maybe it's right. He reached into the drawer beside his bed and pulled out a small box Laura had secretly brought. Tomi, he said, opening it to reveal a simple ring. Will you marry me? Not because of the Jean name. Not because of pity. But because you choose me the way I choose you. Tomi's eyes filled again, but this time with something brighter. Yes, she whispered. Then louder, with a small laugh. Yes, Jin-woo. I will. He slid the ring onto her finger with shaking hands. In that small hospital room in Seoul, surrounded by the few people who truly mattered, Tomi and Jin-woo chose each other. No longer just step-family, but lovers, partners, and a new kind of family they were building for themselves. Thank you so much for staying with us till the very end of this story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear the lessons you learned and your thoughts on how we can continue improving to give you the very best. Here at Moonlit Stories, every tale is crafted with passion, care, and dedication. Our mission is simple: to entertain, inspire, and connect us all across cultures and hearts. So, keep the conversation alive in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Till next time, we are Moonlit Stories, bringing you amazing tales that touch hearts and spark imaginations. Stay blessed. Stay inspired. See you in the next story.